Welcome back to the Boo Review. So, we're coming at you again with another movie review. We just went to go see Lights Out, so we're going to give our impressions and review. The first half will be spoiler-free. We'll let you know before we get into the spoilers for it, so, if you want to avoid those. And look forward to our Haunted Dolls video. By the time this comes out, it'll be probably like a few hours until that one. It'll be on Friday at what time?
Mid, like 11 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah, at 11 a.m. Central Time. So, there we go.
Yeah.
And we just watched it. We haven't talked about it yet, so...
Yeah, we have no idea what we're going to say about the movie. Premise of the movie is that the ghost, when the lights come on, you can't see her, she can't hurt you. So they're always, the characters are always trying to get in the light, because they can only see her when she's in the darkness. You want me to go first?
Sure. What you got?
Okay. Terrible. Just pure, no. It was okay, my just overall impression, I feel like the movie was just okay. Pretty good. And then pretty good, and then it ended. Well, how do you feel about it?
I liked it so much.
Really? Okay.
I thought
reasons.
I thought it was great. It's all right. I'll say the runtime for the movie is really short. It's an hour and 21 minutes. Of course, part of that's credits and everything. But I thought it was really good. It doesn't have the problem with some horror movies where I guess they kind of run out of things to do to be creepy, and then they just get into whatever, and it just kind of loses some steam. It doesn't have all that. As a result, it does lose a little bit. It kind of rushes through some backstory whenever it gets into that. It hits it really fast and just keeps on going. But I don't think that's too detrimental to it. I don't know. I think it's way creepier than... I liked it way more. I felt more tense watching this than I felt during The Conjuring. And that's the way I like to feel during
Conjuring 2, right?
Yes, yeah. Right. Conjuring 2. Or the first one. Whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the way I want to feel during these kind of movies. I want to feel tense. I don't like gore movies or anything like that. I don't like those kinds of horror movies. I like suspense and tension. And I felt that so much throughout this movie.
This is interesting because I feel exact opposite. I felt no tension in this movie.
Why?
I can't unless we get into the psychological aspect of it.
And I'll say in comparison to, because the only other proper movie review we did was Conjuring 2, and I said I didn't really like the sound design. It's good, but it's not what I like necessarily in a horror movie. This movie had more of the sound design I like. It wasn't completely silent like Paranormal Activity.
But it did have silence in it. So that's a good point.
It had extended moments of silence. Most of the music that was there was more ambient and subdued. Whenever a jump scare happens, it hits, but it's not preempted by the music the way it is in Conjuring typically. And there weren't false music cues like with The Conjuring really. So I feel like this is the type of sound design that I'm much more partial to. So that helps a lot for me.
Well, there are other movies that have silence before the music, and then the music will happen right as, right at the jump scare. But my general thing is I felt like it was pretty cliche. That was just me. I've seen a lot of these type of horror movies where, the jump scare type horror movies. And I just didn't feel any tension in it. I agree that I like that they didn't use sound at certain moments or whatever. And I think it does have some clever moments in it, definitely. But me personally, there's just a lot of things about it. It's just I feel like I've seen it so many times before. And it didn't I never got tense in the movie. I think because I think it's just because the characters weren't very interesting, and I know that's like a big thing to ask out of like a horror movie. I think the plot was interesting with what the characters were dealing with, but I don't think they themselves were very interesting. I felt like they were pretty by the book, by the numbers type characters that you have in a horror movie. Child's in danger, family drama. They've done that a billion times. It's just been done.
I feel like the characters were more reasonable than what I usually see in horror movies.
There was a couple stupid moments to me. I saw the first part, which this is side character, but it was the opening. This is getting into spoilers. Never mind, I won't say it because that's getting into spoilers. We'll have to talk about that later. Okay. But anyway, divided, I guess.
Yeah, we're way more divided.
Pretty divided on this one. I don't know how it's going to help you.
I thought that the characters were, in general, a little more realistic than most horror movies that portray these kind of characters.
I didn't feel that way.
Really?
No, I thought the acting wasn't too bad, but I don't think it was like
the acting is solid.
Yeah, I mean, it was solid, but it wasn't nothing spectacular. I don't think that. Again, I can't really talk about how maybe some of the unreasonable things I saw without getting into spoilers.
It's not going to be Oscar worthy. No. But it's solid acting, especially for a horror movie like this.
But a lot of it. But I'm just saying, I feel like it does have clever moments, but a lot of these movies have clever moments, and I feel like the whole family drama thing is just kind of played out. I don't know. They've been doing this forever. And I don't know. I can't say any more than that without getting into spoilers.
Well, before we get into spoilers, I'll just say pros for me. I think acting was solid. I liked the overall plot. I think it was solid. It wasn't amazing, but sound design great. I liked the design of the, I guess whatever you would call her. You've seen her in the trailer, like the silhouetted woman that you see. I think I like her design. I think she was appropriately creepy.
Diana, I think we can say that, right?
Yeah,
her name's Diana.
Her name's Diana. Okay, so Diana, I liked her design and everything, and I like the whole concept of she can only chase you and move whenever she's in darkness.
I think that ties into your fear because you don't like being chased. I get why you like it now.
I mean, no, it does make me think about some of my favorite horror games and elements of them.
Yeah,
and there's something else I want to say, but it's spoiler territory.
Okay. Well, let's go. You want to go ahead and get into it?
Well, do you want to kind of give just a recap on your general feelings of the movie?
Oh, yeah. Pros, clever at times. Pros, the plot is pretty good. I think it deals with some issues that another movie deals with that is better to me, that we'll talk about in the spoiler section. Cons, I feel like it's super cliche. I feel like I've seen this before. I think it's a well-made movie. I feel like it's very competent, but it's just nothing. There's nothing interesting here. I feel like it just kind of exists. Is the best way I could put it. Except for the clever moments for okay.
Okay. And I'll say just for anyone that comes across this that we haven't done a lot of movie reviews, so you don't really know what our tastes are. To give it some context, the type of horror movies I like, and then I'll compare it to you real quick. Not because they're similar, just style of horror movie. I really like Ringu. That's probably my favorite horror movie. The Orphanage or El Orfanato, which is... It's considered a horror movie, but it's really more of like a suspense drama kind of in a way.
I agree with that, yeah. That movie is excellent. Yeah.
The movie is amazing. I don't think it's as good as either of those. I enjoy both Conjurings. I think it's better than both of those. And I enjoy Insidious. For me, I think it nudges out Insidious because it's more consistently good for what I like in a horror movie. Whereas to me, Insidious loses me. And if you've ever seen it, kind of the latter quarter of the movie, Insidious loses me some more. And this is, to me, more consistent throughout. Probably also easier to accomplish by the shorter runtime. And, do we want to give it a rating? If we do, we should give it a rating now for the sake of people that don't want to watch the spoilers.
I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10.
6 point.
A
10-point scale.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm sorry. 1 out of 7. That doesn't even compare.
I mean, that's probably roughly 4.
4. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 4 out of 7. Yeah, that's about
really?
The same. Yeah.
Did we give Conjuring a rating?
Actually, 3.5 out of 7. I don't know. Conjuring. I don't think we did. But anyway.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll give it my rating too. Let's see. Just for context, if Conjuring 2 was a 5 and Ringu was maybe like a 6.5, then this is somewhere in between, probably like a 6 for me.
Out of 7, okay.
Yeah, 6 out of 7.
First I was like out of 10, yeah. That's very confusing for
people that
out of a 10 scale, what is it for people who in
the area of 8, probably.
8, okay.
Out of 10.
That's respectable.
It'd be in that area. 6 out of 7 is probably actually slightly higher. But if we use a traditional scale, probably around like an 8 out of 10. I think it's very good. But anyway, we're getting into spoilers now.
Well, I was going to say my background as far as movies that I watch. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I've been watching movies for a very, very long. All movies. I've been watching horror movies for a very, very long time. I've seen a whole bunch. I even did like a top 50 horror movies things for this channel. So I've seen a lot of horror movies, and it's possible that I am just jaded. I'm just cynical. I've seen it so much at this point. So that's my background. Take that into consideration. If you're not used to being, scared or whatever, then you might go into this being very frightened.
So yeah, that's something you kind of getting views from two people from very different backgrounds with horror movies because I don't watch that many, and the ones I like are the ones like I just mentioned. Also, I'll throw out there Rec or Record or whatever the Spanish movie.
Now Rec is that
they have it
amazing.
abbreviated Rec, but for Record, which is another word, Recordar in Spanish, whatever you actually want to call the movie, whatever people call it. That movie is great too. Almost not in the same vein in some ways as some of the other ones I watch. It's very
different.
Yeah, but it's
not even really
very well
this,
done. It's not really comparable to this. So.
Let's do spoilers.
All right.
Okay, spoilers.
We're getting into spoilers, so this is your chance. If you want to stop the video, go ahead. We're giving you a couple
But they probably already
seconds.
left. It's already 11, 12 minutes. They're gone by
that's
now.
fine.